live the life beyond the boundaries we set on ourselves, to live and to run boundless, to be inspired, to achieve, to overcome the mountaintop in our life. Embrace the journey, become boundless.
Hello, family. Welcome to another episode of the Live Run Boundless Show. I'm Kenneth Pinkney, your host. Today's guest is a young lady I have watched from afar on Instagram, social media outlet. She started her running journey 2008, I believe. And since then, she created a platform that has inspired, encouraged others in their journey to have their mind and body, also at their temple.
Right.
She's the host of her own YouTube channel, Temple Running, I might say, with MJ Smith. She currently serves as a military officer in the United States Air Force. Go Air Force, even though I'm a Navy guy. She's affiliated with the Black Girls Run, which is big here in San Diego also, Black Girls Run. The Half Fanatic, I don't know. Also the Night Run Club. She previously ran, as of today, ran in 18 states and 3 countries. Places like Nevada, Tennessee, the country Greece, I believe another country, Turkey, and many other places. Originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's co-op out there. Graduate of Florida A&M University.
I represent everything. I'm sorry, I got to represent.
I see that. But you currently reside in the DMV area, and not for the Department of Motor Vehicle, but DMV area, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Right, I'm in Virginia, but yes.
Well, most importantly, she is a wife and a mom of a adorable young son. Well, I see she posted on Instagram sometime. So
he's a runner too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Live Run Boundless family, let's welcome MJ Smith, aka Temple Running.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so I'm glad to have you on. I know I've been trying to connect for a while. You have busy schedule, but it's good to have you on. So first, how are you doing today?
Oh, it's another busy day, but it's Friday. Like you can't not be happy on a Friday. The work week is coming to an end, long run tomorrow. So Fridays are good days. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay, then so you got another run tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a long run tomorrow. Try to get 8 to 10 miles in tomorrow.
You're not racing, but just a run. Okay, then.
No, not racing. And yeah, I'm supposed to have a race at the end of the month, but they keep moving the date back. So I'm going through that running limbo that everybody has been going through with races, because it's like they want to get started, but they're like, maybe we should move back a couple months, so going through that right now. So.
Okay, I understand. But like being consistent and doing the training.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
There you go. Yeah. So good you have you on. But I like to start off, this with everybody their journey, about a journey, a process to get to where they're at. Mm-hmm. So before you was a runner, tell the family a little bit about you just growing up, become a runner. Were you active? Were you always active, involved in sports as a child?
Yeah. So I'm the youngest of 3 siblings that grew up in my home with me, with my mom, and was raised by a single mother in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, like you mentioned. And I had a hardworking mama, you know, just like a lot of us who have had single mothers and have come out successful, you know, it's mostly attributed to them. So I talk about my mom a lot on my channel and on my page because she is such a big part. She really is my best friend in life, and she's just an incredible woman. But anyway, growing up, you know, the youngest of three siblings, you know, you got to be active, and we didn't have all these games and tablets and phones to keep us entertained. So we wanted to go outside. So I always was one of the fast, you know, kids on my block. So when we do the street races, you remember those street races? When we get down on those, I didn't fall at the bottom. I did pretty well, even against the other boys in my neighborhood. So so I did a little track in elementary school. I even tried playing basketball. I did cheerleading. I did cheerleading in high school as well. But mostly I just saw running as a speed thing. Like I just wanted to do short distance and speed. It never was about, you know, endurance and, you know, running for a long time. My high school had a cross country team, and I was like, why would I run that long? That doesn't even make sense. So I didn't even get why people ran, you know, long distances back then. So I joined Air Force ROTC in college, and you had to do a 2-mile run to get into the program. And I struggled for that 2-mile run. I struggled. Like I could taste the acid in my stomach and my mouth. Like I totally didn't, you know, I knew nothing about preparing to run 2 miles. And so I took that run and I passed. And do you know they lost my score sheet and had to do it again? I almost cried.
Oh no.
So anyway, that was the Air Force PT test was my first experience with any kind of distance running. And it was miserable for me because it was something I had to do, and we had to do it once a year. And so that once a year, I would, you know, a few months before I'd start running and try to get myself ready for it. But I didn't like it. So then I started running. I deployed to Iraq in 2008. And so that's why I say that's where my running journey really started, because when I was out there in the desert, it was like, what do we do? So let's get up in the morning and go to the gym and just get on the treadmill and see how it goes. I didn't want to go. We were eating really good over there. Okay. So where I was, I know people be thinking we be struggling over there in the desert. Where I was, y'all, they was feeding us good. So
I certain time in the Middle East with the time, like, Kuwait, the food, we ate good.
And so I didn't want to come home fat. So that was my motivation behind running. I just needed to run off all this good food that I was eating in the desert. So, because that was really all you could do is eat and work out and work. And that was it. So I started getting up and just running, and eventually I was running 30 minutes, and I was just trying to see how far I can run in 30 minutes. So it was all about speed. And people were like, oh my gosh, like this girl, she goes to the gym every morning. She's killing it. She's a runner. And I was like, a runner? No, not me. I'm just trying to keep these pounds off. And it really took me a long time to come to grips with being a runner, because I was like, nah, I'm not one of those people. I don't even understand those people. I just don't want to be fat. So I came back from Iraq and I continued running. I continued adding distance. And I think I've mentioned before on my channel, it started off as more about competition to me, because like I told you, I was in the gym, I saw these other runners and I'm just trying to run faster than them. And then I get back and it's this girl in my office, she's like, oh, I run 5 miles every morning. I was like, oh, I can do that. And so I started running 5 miles, a few times a week. And I just kept on progressing myself. And it was mostly competitive, foundation, which is not a good foundation to build on, might I add. You really should be just running your own race. I could have really hurt myself, and I really did hurt myself trying to chase other people's goals and where they are in their run journey. But I'm sure we'll talk about that a little later. So I'll just wrap it up. I did my first half marathon in 2012 with some folks in my office, and I've been hooked on racing ever since. And the motivation that put me over the edge and over the top, I think, was having my son. I had him. And then I said, I want to get my body back to where I was running and where I was before I got pregnant. So I said this year, the year after he was born, because he was born in January 2015. So I said in 2016, I'm going to do 10 half marathons.
Oh, wow.
And I did 11 that year. And then every year since I did 10. So that's how I got so much bling. I just kept that going. And I would have done 10 in 2020 if we didn't have the pandemic. So trying to make up some of it here in 2021. But that's my story. Just a girl from Milwaukee, you know, just a kid from Milwaukee.
That you're a girl from Milwaukee doing some great things, some good stuff, you know, and and to impact others, you know. So doing your first marathon in 2008, correct? Or 2012, you did your first.
2012 was my first half. Yeah.
So what was the experience? What was the experience like completing your first half marathon?
So I was doing it with folks in my office. They're the ones who was like, yeah, let's do this half marathon. I'm like, all right, I'm in. But we weren't training together. So I actually had a friend who I was stationed with at a previous base, and she ran with a run group, and she introduced me to the ladies, and I started running my long runs on weekends with them. And it was just the most, I mean, it was a godsend experience because these ladies groomed me so much during the time that I ran with them. They were more experienced than me. They taught me so much about running. I told you I was just out there. I didn't know anything. I was just out there running miles. And, you know, they taught me about proper gear. They taught me about cadence and breathing and things like that. And all the while we're up there chatting and, you know, just having girlfriend talk and stuff. And it was just the best experience. I think that is really what kicked me off to enjoying my running, you know, and not being about competition, because we didn't run that fast and we didn't, you know, always run that long, but it was just the camaraderie of the group and us all getting up and coming together for this. So of course, by the time I got to the half marathon, I was like, you know, this is incredible. All these people coming out here for a common purpose. It's just, it got my adrenaline going and I was hooked, you know. I don't know if you remember your first race, but.
Oh yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, I do. Yeah, I remember my first full and I remember my first half, you know. The experience is like the people, the excitement in the air, the energy, and you get caught up into it, you know.
Yes, and I wasn't even tired. I thought I was gonna run out of gas. I mean, I was just so high off the energy. And I think I finished in 2 hours, 10 minutes, which isn't bad for your first half.
Oh, it's not.
And I just, my run partner, he was like, I thought you were going to want to stop. I didn't want to stop. I was just it was so incredible. So I did it was the very first DC rock and roll half that they did here in Washington, DC. So that was my very first race. And that's why you saw my running resume, how much rock and roll I've done, you know, because that's what I'm used to. Like the way they do a race is on point. Usually I've heard some things lately, but they are usually on point.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So it started with just you know, just wanted to get in shape, you know, I want to be, you know, and stuff like that.
Right.
And then it take on your running journey take on a whole different dynamic or different route. It take on to inspire others, and then take like that in the process of the MJ and the Temple Running. So tell the family about the birth of Temple Running, how that all came about.
Right. So you know, we started this pandemic March of last year, 2020.
Yes.
And at the time I had a job that I was very busy, but I found I had extra time because, you know, I wasn't commuting, you know, I was able to spend more time with my family. So I wasn't like hogging all my extra time for that. So it just became a thing where I was like, oh, well, we can't go outside. So I'm working out to get movement because I'm not about to sit in this house. And well, you know, my motivation, I'm not about to sit in this house and get fat. So I had to run. And so, and get my kid out the house too. So we would go outside for a family walk, run like almost every day. And and I was running a lot more on my own. And so I started looking at YouTube and looking at, IG and just trying to find some content on how to make my journey, better and how to improve myself as a runner. And I found a ton of information. I was excited about it, but it was like, I didn't see me in any of it that I was looking at. It wasn't a lot of African-Americans and definitely African-American females out there, sharing their journey, giving information, trying to inspire others. And there's a small pool of us, I'm not going to say there were none, but it was very few and far in between. And to me, sometimes it was even hard to find them. So that's why I came up with Temple Running. I said, I want to do something to put content out there to get others to see that you don't have to look a certain way to run. Now, I'm here to inspire all runners, so it's no certain category, but it is something special when you can look at someone who comes from a similar background or, looks like you, or, because I think a lot of Black women don't see running as something that they can do because they don't see that many people doing it. You don't know how many Black women to me act in awe of what I'm doing. I'm like, you can do this too. This isn't just for me, and it just isn't for the people that you see on the cover of Runner's World. It's for all of us. Any of us can do it, And so that's what I just want to push. And if I can get, 5 more people interested in running with my channel and stuff, then I feel like I've been successful. I just want to inspire people to want to do this, and help them, because I didn't have any help and I could have really messed myself up, until I met that group of ladies. I didn't have any help on my run journey. So I want to help people get started on the right foot,
That's great. I love that, I love what you're doing, and just definitely continue to do it. You have, I see that I'm inspired. See what you're doing, Yeah, so
thank you.
Yes. And saying all that, you're running your life, running and life go hand in hand, I believe, go together. How has running impacted your life or changed your life?
Oh my goodness. I handle life so much easier. So I've been injured twice in my running career. So I got injured pretty early in my career, right after my first half marathon. I got injured, and I got injured this past year in the summer of last year. And when I'm not running, I'm not right. And I know that. Running just helps me to have so much of a better perspective. Like when you're out there running, you're thinking about what you're going to do. You're thinking about goals. You're thinking about what you want for your family, and you have the time. You're taking time. It's like how people say meditation changes their life. Running can change your life in the same way, because you meditate when you run. You're not as deep into your thought as you are when you sit down and like really meditate. But I really do, get my best goal setting, best thoughts, best to-do list off of my runs. And then it makes my attitude so much better. So I'm in a stressful job right now. And the mornings I run, I handle myself so much better than the mornings I don't. Because even when I pray every morning so that I can get started. And sometimes the prayer just as soon as I turn that computer, I'm gone. Like, I'm off my rocker. They done already got me upset. But if I ran that morning, my tolerance is just that much higher. And it gives you more patience with your family, it gives you more patience with your friends, with your job. Running is just an incredible, addition to my life overall. And just physically, it helps you to stay fit, on top of that. So it's just win-win benefits to running.
Definitely running. Not only it help physically, but mentally also, and it do something mentally,
right.
Yeah. Sometimes kind of hard to explain what it can do to you mentally. It just
Those endorphins are something, I tell you. They'll keep you from losing your job. Keep you from...
That's funny. So it is a beautiful day that we're able to do it, the gratitude, able to go out there and run, and lose yourself for a little bit. So
right.
definitely. During your journey, and just running in life, what have been like an obstacle or hill they had to climb to get you in life to where you want to be, or to a certain peak in your life? What do you have to overcome? What obstacle do you had to overcome? Maybe just one.
I'm not going to go too far into it, but I'm just going to say, being an African-American female officer in the military, it is an obstacle. Okay. It is a hill. It is always a hill.
Yeah.
The United States military still has a lot of work to do. And I'm happy to be a part of that work that they're doing, but it is incredible how little I see myself in the leadership of the United States military. And I'm proud I'm a lieutenant colonel. So I've made it up the ranks, pretty well. And so I'm proud to walk on a base and let the other lieutenants see somebody that they can say, that could be me walking and representing the uniform, because I didn't have that when I was a second lieutenant, and there were many times that I almost gave up on the journey. It was God that kept me in this race, because there was a couple times I was just like, this isn't for me. This is not for me. I can't do this. And I'm glad I stayed in it for the same reason I did temple running. I'm glad I stayed in it because it's for the people who come after me. It's not even about what's happening with me in my career right now. It's about laying a foundation so that those who come after me and after us can continue to build on it. So I don't expect things to get much better while I am active duty, but I expect that it will get better down the line. And what I am doing today, just being and existing and representing the right way, will help somebody else down the road, be looked at better and make it further. So I think that's a pretty significant hill, because I've got 18 years on this hill. So it's a big hill that I've been climbing, but it has been an amazing journey. United States military has been very good to me. So I'm not going front like I'm on a struggle bus, but I just think that we do still have some work to do, and I'm happy to be a part of that progress.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you're part of the process, and you're not giving up. And I know, so sometimes we go through that struggle like that, You can
and you'd be like, this is not my struggle. I'm not going, but it is our struggle. We got to accept that.
Yeah, definitely. And you look at it from different angles, because you look at it more beside just you. You look at the people that are going to come after you, then the young, the Black women that are going to come after you and inspire you to be where you're at, or to be more, and they can look at you, and you can like share with them, and tell them, and help them.
Right. And even a lot of young ladies think, I'm not going into the military. Like, that's not for me. That's for girls. That's for tomboys. That's for women who carry themselves a certain way and look a certain way. No, you can be this and put on that uniform and still be yourself and still lead people and do incredible things for your country. So I'm glad to be able to represent all of that. And it's the same way. It's the same way I feel about running,
Definitely, just continue grinding, continue climbing, to that peak, that climbing. I like to climbing. Cool. Out here we got trails. I know your area, you probably don't have trails or hills. Well, so like you need to term like hills and trails.
We got a few. I got a few.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not messing with y'all in California. Y'all got the best. But yes, I follow a few folks that do the trail running in California, and I'd be like, oh, that looks nice. I don't know. I might be scared of some of those coyotes and mountain lions and stuff y'all be having up in there.
Yeah, I remember a little here and there. A little here and there may come across. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
So you got to come out to California. Come out here to to go on some of the trail runs.
Yes, I'm actually visiting California next month, but I'm going to LA, not San Diego. But I love San Diego.
It's away,
Yes, I love San Diego. San Diego is LA without all the congestion and traffic. It's like you get the beautiful weather, you get the beautiful people, but it's just not as compacted. It's just it's way freer. I love San Diego.
You got a point. Definitely.
I did the rock and roll out there, you saw.
Yes.
So, and that's where rock and roll started in San Diego.
I know.
Yeah. Have you done that one, the rock and roll San
I did the
Diego?
Rockwell full marathon. I probably should have stuck with the half marathon. I know. It was great. It was fun. There's a more story behind it. It had like a situation that happened, and
Oh,
yeah, we have it right after I finished what I call the finish line. And so, but that's another story for itself. Yeah, but
mm,
the rock it was fun. Lots of people, but it wasn't my type of race.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's what I said. I hear some things here and there. I've had a good experience, but I know
yeah,
I know folks who have had
yeah.
issues.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I'm glad I get the experience. Glad I got the experience of running the rock.
yeah, cool.
Yes. So on your journey, you had to have support. Do your running. You could use lots of running. You travel a lot.
Yes.
You know. So what does it mean for you to have the support of your family in your running journey?
Oh my goodness. My family, they are everything. My son, my husband, I told you I started this when my son was not even a year old. I
Yeah,
started this
yeah,
10 half marathons, traveling all over the place.
yeah,
And a lot of times I did end up going alone because my husband was home, keeping
yeah,
my son out the elements and everything.
yeah, yeah.
And there are times where my husband has come out and met me at the finish
Cool.
line.
That's cool.
And I mean, everybody from my mom has traveled with me to races.
Right,
My friends
right.
have gone to races with me just to go to support. Like they
Yeah,
didn't run.
yeah,
My mother-in-law, she comes. I mean, I have so much support.
that's cool.
I can't even tell you how much it means to me that my family are so proud of what I've done.
Yeah,
They supported. Some of them have joined me and
yeah,
gotten involved in a couple races. It just really breaks my heart. But my husband and my son, I go down that treadmill because and I know we'll talk about it later, but I'm on a run streak, and I go down that treadmill some days and I don't feel like it. My son, he comes downstairs in the basement. He's like in the dungeon, as I call it. And he's like, Mommy, I just came to check on you. I'm going to run with you. And he runs next to the treadmill and he's just so happy. And I'm like, let me get myself together because he got all the energy over there. I need to get some of that. And so just the support of my husband, we are a family that runs together. So we my husband does not do distance races, but he gets a few miles in.
Okay, that's good.
And my son, like I said, he's got like 3 or 4 medals himself already. So he loves running. And so as a family, their support, it means everything. And as a mom, trying to balance my running life and my social media influencer life and everything, it means a lot that they involve themselves in my journey, because otherwise I'd feel like, I'm not including them and I'm abandoning that part of my responsibility to do this. But I never feel that way because they just make themselves a part of my journey.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the goal, to make your family part of your journey. You can do all your family. And like for me, just me, my wife, and myself, that important for me in doing this, since I've been doing this, to make sure that it's not just me doing this, and my wife and myself together on the journey that we're on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Include them. That's the biggest thing you can do.
Yeah. So all the races you've done, so what would be your least, what would be your favorite race to do so far?
My favorite, I have to say, just by default, I love running Chicago. So I've done the Rock and Roll Chicago, I think 3 or 4 times. That's probably the race I've done more than any other race. And I've loved it every time. Usually there are very few races, as you saw on my resume, that I've done more than once. And that's one of them. I will do it every opportunity I can. They have the best course, running the Magnificent Mile, running down Michigan Avenue, running the lakefront. I mean, it is an incredible race, and the energy from the city, they come out. Also, I guess my evenly favorite race, I ran Tarsus, Turkey. Which is a city that's all through the Bible. It's where Saul was from and everything. So it has a lot of history there. But the energy of that race was amazing too. And I just remember it. So I feel like if you ask me my favorite race is, and though whatever pops into my head is where I'm going, because I've had so many incredible experiences. It's really hard to compare them, but those two always stand out to me. And of course, running the strip at night in Vegas. I mean, who wouldn't remember that one? So I try to pick unique races, stuff that, like, running into Canada and for the international, race, or my intercontinental race when I ran from the Asia side of Istanbul to the Europe side of Istanbul. So it's basically like running 2 continents, like little cool stuff like that. It just kind of nice to be able to do those things.
I like that. Very, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
That could you get to like travel different places, travel.
Runcations. I recommend them. They're
I know.
My family be like, "Oh, we having fun." I'm like, "Yep," and I got a race in, so everybody's good. Everybody's good.
Yeah. That's something I haven't really done a whole lot runcation, but definitely, once they, get settled down or whatever, definitely I look forward to.
Yes.
Runcation. So on the opposite side of that, we all have some races that we probably didn't like, man, they're like, man, it was, I really didn't enjoy it. So what been some of your least favorite races that you've done and why?
That's a difficult one because I really did like most of my races. I'm gonna say I did this race in June.
Yeah.
I think it was the race 13.1 series, and nothing against the race 13.1 series. So it wasn't them. Well, it's partly them. First, the race was in June in St. Louis, Missouri. It was hot. Okay. So I was miserable. I don't like running in the heat. I don't like summer races. I usually take the summer off. I don't, except for Chicago, because I've done a Chicago Rock and Roll in July, mid-July every time, and I've never been too hot. But it's Chicago by the lake at 7 in the morning. You're pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this race, it was just really hot, and it was the most boring course. It was like through some dang open fields. There was like nothing to look at. I was just like, what is this? Like it was, yeah. I think that was probably easily my least favorite race. Yeah. I need some scenery. Like I told you, I picked my races pretty wisely.
I got you what you're saying.
Hey, lucky I had my Hamilton soundtrack to keep me in the game while I was out there.
So tell the family a little bit about your current running streak, how that came about.
So I told you I was injured last summer.
Yes.
And so I was coming off my injury in about the September, October timeframe. And I just I have a new job since before the injury. So my schedule had already been built around this busy new job. And so I'm building this job up and I don't have time to run. I can't find the time to run. I try to get up in the morning, it doesn't happen. So I say, you know what? The way I'm going to get back in the swing of running, I have to build running back into my schedule somehow. I'm going to do 30 days, a 30-day run streak just to make myself get the running in. So I feel like if I punish myself with having to run 8 o'clock at night, then maybe it will motivate me to get up in the morning, get the run in like I'm supposed to. And it was very successful. I did it every day in November. I got back in my groove, started feeling it again. And so then I was like, well, let's just keep going until I'm ready to stop. And now I think today was day 167 from that 30 days I was supposed to be doing. I'm 167, so I'm less than 2 weeks out from 6 months of running straight. And I don't usually I could probably count on a few fingers how many times I've done the minimal. I usually do at least a couple miles a day. Just to keep my fitness up, because we're in this pandemic. I'm not moving around as much as I used to. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey. I never thought that this was a safe thing to do. I always tell people you have to get rest, but rest can mean different things, right? Rest can mean you don't run sprints and you don't run hard. You just take you a leisurely run. You make sure you get stretching in. Rest can mean different things. It doesn't mean that you can't run, but you shouldn't be. I still wouldn't suggest you do long, hard runs every day for a streak, but you can definitely run every day and remain healthy. That's something I've learned. I told you I'm learning along this journey, just like everybody else.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, I think we meant to run with our body, you know. So the nice little runner, you know.
And I tell you, some days you just don't feel like it. I don't feel like running some days. I whine to my husband a lot, and he just be like, just go do it because you know you're going to. I've always been very strong-minded like that. When I set a goal, it's going to happen. People who know me know. My friends know. They be like, oh, she said she going to do it. It's going to get done. And so I said, I'm doing a streak, and it's been good.
Okay, that's great. You know, so how long are you going to continue this streak? You know, how long are you going to continue this?
I don't know, Kenneth. I'm telling you, it's just the day-to-day thing. I feel like when my body says stop, I will stop. I would like to get through 1 year of a run streak. That would be an incredible challenge to meet. But I think if I can do a year, I'd be happy with that. So I'm trying to reach this 6-month goal, and then from there, I'll see what my next goal might be.
And then after you do a year, I guess I'm gonna have to interview you again after that year.
Yes. But it's a lot of great run streakers out there. And I'm happy to be joining them because I told you, I used to look at them like they crazy. They shouldn't do that. And so I'm also excited that I'm going to be, taking my run coaching courses here soon because I do want to learn more. I do a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of things so that I can give people sound advice. But I know I'll always be learning as along this journey, but I do want to learn as much as possible so that I can make sure that I'm giving people good information because, that's what I do on my channel, and I can't be leading people in the wrong way. Because what works for me may not work for somebody else. So I need to learn universally what works for people.
Definitely. Just learning that, and just being good part of being a good running coach, will work for other people, And that was I'm grateful for the running coach that I had at the beginning of my process, kind of understand what help me out, to get to where I need to get at,
Right.
For Scott Dogs.
Yeah, you guys have an incredible running group. I see it on your page all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm just gratitude, just the people that I run with, the coach that I had, that taught me about running, as I feel my Navy way in and trying to get in shape, all that stuff, Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but this
I hope I find a good run group. I am a little tired of running alone. So when I see you all post with your run groups, I'm always like, oh, that looks so fun.
I'm grateful for the running community. I run many different people, different group, we're all one big family. So your why factor, what keep you going? What especially when things get tough, you're hard, like you said, we don't want to wake up early. What's your why factor? Your why, I know your why changes over time. But what's your why factor right now? What keep you going?
My why factor right now is, this is just bigger than me. It's not really about MJ Smith. This is about the people who I am, DM me and say that I inspire them. Awesome. The people who, who are starting their journeys because they saw something I did and they see me getting up and grinding every day. So that's what I think about. I think about, it's not about you. Get out of this bed, girl. You don't know who you're going to inspire today. God has really given me the grace of having this platform. It is growing really quickly, only because of him. And I need to do the right thing by it. So it's not a ball I can drop now. I started this, now I got to keep it going. So it started off with a certain why, and I think it's just evolved into, it's not about you. It's bigger than you.
Oh yeah.
And we're just trying to build a good future for the running community, period. Because a more diverse and a more educated run community is good for all of us. It helps us keep runners in the game longer because we get so many runners that we lose because they didn't have the right information, they injure themselves and they can't run anymore. So I'm just trying to keep people running, and I'm trying to get people running and help build. That's all.
Yeah, I like that, dude. I say this all the time. Also, it's bigger than me. You know what you're doing is bigger than you. What I'm doing is bigger than me. You know,
Yes.
people get inspired, people get to be impacted, but just and use the platform that you have, for the greater good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think about the influence that I'm even giving to my son and to my family. My husband, he doesn't say it every day, but I know him seeing me getting up and grinding. He like, okay, he feels motivated and inspired. He's actually told me that before. He'd be like, I see you grinding and I got to make sure I take care of my temple too,
There you go.
And then my son, he thinks running is a normal part of life. He thinks fitness is a normal part of life. And I'm praying that he grows up to be a man who takes his health and his fitness seriously because he saw his parents, model that for him as he was growing up. So like I said, bigger than me all around. It's about everybody else.
Awesome. Also, man, my last question.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to ask everybody. So what is your boundless motivation and thoughts in a few words?
I told you this was another one that you made me think on.
Okay.
But I'm going to come straight from the heart on it. And I actually did another interview and I had a similar question. And I said, it's cliche, but it's real.
Cool.
And the realness is this, like, you just gotta keep going, gotta keep moving forward.
Yes.
And the running journey is the same as the life journey.
Yes.
You look at it 1 mile at a time.
Yes.
You got to do it one thing at a time. Do not let life overwhelm you because it will if you let it. And if running is not your outlet, find an outlet, find something that helps you to deal with this, because we have a lot going on right now in our life, in our world, in our country.
Yes.
I mean, if you're in the US, because I know you boundless, you everywhere, you international, but for those of you in the US, and you all have stuff going on in your own countries as well. And it's a lot to deal with this world. So we just got to find what helps us to deal with it and keep moving forward. Don't stop. Just keep moving forward.
I love that. Keep moving forward. Yeah, it's probably cute.
Like Dory. Women.
But it definitely makes sense. I mean, easy to stop, and get like sidetracked or lose heart, that move forward, got to keep find a way to
move forward at your pace for your journey, not somebody else's.
Definitely. We all got on path to the cross, our own path to go into, on journey, and we got to break the journey that we own.
Yes.
This is definitely
that. Keep calm and keep moving.
Yes. Yes. So saying that, I know you got a final word that you want to share to the viewers, to the Live Unbalanced family. You got like a final word that you want to leave with us,
I just want to say thank you for having me, Boundless family. I really appreciate it. This has been an honor, and hopefully something in my story inspired you. You all inspire me every day. On IG, I love that I get to give to something that I get so much from. So if you don't already follow me on IG, I am at Temple_running 365. I would love it if you joined the run community there with me. And I am here to help in any way I can, and just to share in your journeys. I like to follow some of your journeys as well. So like I said, just keep moving forward. That's all you got to do. If you are just a little better than you were at the start of the day, then you've done what you need to do for the day. So thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I love it, MJ. This is great. Just connected with you, able to get this, to do this, able to come together. And just we both started at the same time. The YouTube with all that, 2020. I call it a COVID-19 project.
It is.
So this is definitely, much props to you, and continue to do what you do. Continue to check you out and stay connected, and just But yeah,
Hopefully this thing keeps going and I'll be back
yes.
and do another interview.
Yeah, so again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining the Live from Balance family.
Thank you, Boundless family. It was a pleasure.
Yes. And thank you, Live from Balance family, for joining me for another episode of the Live from Balance show, living a life beyond the boundaries that you set on yourself. And MJ, she proved not only in running, but her civilian military career, that she lived beyond the boundary that certain people may set on you. And she break through and she lived beyond the boundary that she set on her, that people set on her. So they made it that. Awesome. So again, thank you. Until next time.